let's continue on the shell. So I have created my color. I have my oval cut out, and now I'm going to cut it all apart. I know, that's scary, but we're going to put it back together again. Basically, you're going to be cutting on the lines that you have created. So wherever you have a line, cut it. And if I were you, I would have it setting on the piece of paper that you will choose, kind of in the same shape, so that it's easier to put it together, this puzzle again. That's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be putting our puzzle together in just a moment. So go ahead, cut on every single line, and then we'll talk about the next step. Okay, I tried to keep these kind of in the same order so that it's easy for me to put together my puzzle again. So what I'm doing is I'm putting my shell back together again, but I'm leaving a little space in between. So notice how I have all the pieces and with an equal amount of space in between. If you want to measure and get real fussy, you can take a pencil, kind of lay it down, make sure that they're all about the same width apart. Now, I know that this is going to fit on this piece of paper because I have it laid out, but what I'll do is start with the center first. The center is kind of my keystone. That means the most important piece. And I'm going to go around in this method of going to the edges of my paper. This part is important, going all the way out to the edges by smearing it. Have you ever had glue that dries hard and makes your paper really wrinkly? The reason that happens is because the glue has not been smoothed out and pressed all the way out to the edges. So now that I have this, I'm going to go ahead and press this down. Now, in order to make this stay forever, I need to let my hands rest, not press. So I'm not pressing down, I'm not pushing really hard on it, I'm just letting it rest. I'm going to continue with the other shapes. One thing that I should have done the first time is set my piece aside, the artwork aside, and actually do my gluing over here on my tabletop so that the extra glue doesn't get all over my artwork. Smearing it out, going back to my piece of paper, placing it down, leaving that little bit of space in between. Letting my hands rest, not press, not hitting, just resting. And then removing my hands. Now, you see that there are some places that have a little glue that is coming out. I'll get a paper towel and wipe that off, and that will be just fine. But I'll continue to glue these on, leaving a little space in between all of my shapes. Now, all of my pieces are glued down. If I put it to the side, none of them fall off, so I know I'm good to go. Now I'm going to cut around this shell, but I'm going to leave some of that space, that paper around the edge of my shell. If you choose to, you can just cut with your scissors. Or you can use a pencil. I'm going to use a Sharpie marker so you're able to see. You can draw a line around before you cut. Okay, there we have our final piece for our shell. We have all the pieces glued on nice and tight. If there's any floppies, like I have right here, you're gonna go back and just readdress that. Just get a little bit of glue underneath there. If it spills out, you'll get some paper towel to wipe that off. But you're going to leave a space between all of the inside of the shell as well as the outside, just like this. My project is certainly getting large here. I have all the pieces for the turtle itself and the shell completed. Now it's time to attach them all together. So let's start with the head. Now in this case, I just need the glue right down here under the neck, or at the bottom of the neck. Again, smearing it, just kind of make sure that that glue goes all the way out to the edge. And then I'll take the shell and place it right over the top. Now, if you have floppies at this point, you're going to make sure that you get those under control too. You want to make sure that all of the parts that you're gluing on at this point are nicely and tightly glued to the shell. We will do that for all of the other parts of the turtle as well. And there we have it, a very cool sea turtle.